I finally started playing Zenith: The Last City this week. As the owner of a channel that's arguably lived off of Sword Art Online hype for the past 8 years now, I've got some early thoughts to share on the game. Did I like it? Do I think it sucks? Does it live up to my SAO-loving expectations? Well, stick around, virtual dreamers. My name is Gregory, and we'll be diving into those questions right now. For those of you who don't know, Zenith: The Last City is a VRMMORPG that was released January of this year for PC VR and the Quest. I played in the initial alpha tests over a year ago, and I'm glad to finally have set aside some time to play the game properly in its release. For the sake of getting an impression of the two classes available at this time, I went ahead and created a character in the Blade Master and the Essence Mage classes, so I could experience the early game for both. The tutorial amounts to simple instructions on how to move, talking to characters, fighting monsters, climbing, and gliding. There's more to learn past the initial training zone, but the game does a decent job of giving you the essential information and letting you be on your way from there. Between leaving the city, heading out into the field, slaying monsters with a pair of swords, this was giving me some real SAO vibes. Hell, my first play session lasted until my Quest 2 battery hit the red, and in the second, my Quest 2 battery just straight up died and I ended up having to charge the headset back up. Yeah, I've invested in a battery pack for the Quest 2 and started playing Wired Link now just to kind of offset things. Clearly, I'm liking my time with the game a lot. Of course, liking a game doesn't mean that I think the game is without flaws, and I want to make sure that you know about the issues I'm encountering, even in these early days where I'm just giving you my impressions. For starters, the game is already showing its indie roots. Character customization is very limited. Graphically, the game is mainly being carried by its art, as the game can be pretty rough on textures, whether it's being played on the Quest or the PC. The gameplay itself is pretty good, but there's occasional jank, whether it's enemies floating in the air or the awkwardness of missing a menu input and ending up lighting the area around you on fire. Which ends up happening pretty often, as clicking menu options is far more reliable than trying to engage in a conversation by waving at the NPC. Throw in that quests so far have been nothing to write home about, ranging from your usual fetch quests to the typical kill X number of things quests, and it's not in question that we're in the early days of an indie MMO. Sword Art Online, with a cardinal system developing quests intelligently, full physics-based combat, and anime studio graphics? This is not. If you go in with such expectations, know that only disappointment is awaiting you. Thankfully, I did not go in with those expectations. VR technology isn't ready for an SAO game, and neither is the software development industry. So as a game developer using Unity, the engine used to create Zenith, my expectations wound up being matched and exceeded even. While the base character customization could certainly do with some more options, I think your armor and weapons reflecting on your avatar is a pretty nice thing considering how many games with more JRPG inspirations just don't do this at all. While the textures could definitely use with some upgrading on the PC side, the fact that the Quest version compares so well to the PC version is truly an achievement. Like, seriously, it's mainly just some more pop-in on some lower res textures. Really great stuff overall. As for the quests being simple, it bears mentioning that I am a basic bitch whose main MMO experience growing up was RuneScape, and that was on the free version with like maybe a couple dozen quests. I can already see that there's more than that available here, and to be honest, I'm more than looking forward to the prospect of working together with other players and making friends. Even in my short time playing the game, I've already encountered some experiences that I'm gonna carry with me for a while. Whether that's heading out into the fields and being greeted by a Glover's Squirrel first thing, or heading into an enemy encampment, getting my butt kicked, running away, thinking I'm safe, and going over to the quest giver, and only to find out that the enemies chased me all the way there and having to run away again for dear life. Mid going through menu options. Yeah, some shenanigans can ensue when you're first starting out here. While Zenith: The Last City isn't the Sword Art Online game that some people may have been hoping to have here in 2022, as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't have to be. So long as it continues to have the fun foundation of gameplay that it does, improves upon it by adding more polish, more classes, and really just more content overall, I have a feeling I'll be playing this game, talking about it, and enjoying it for a long time to come. I suppose we'll see how these thoughts hold up in the eventual review though. Till that time comes, virtual dreamers, this has been Gregory, logging out.